Now, you don't have to break your budget or go over budget just to make a space look a little bit more luxurious or expensive. Sometimes we just have little ways we can style spaces that will actually make our spaces look more luxe, more lush, and so on. So in today's video, if you own an apartment or you live in one and you're trying to achieve this, well, I got just the tips for you. I'm going to be discussing some great tips on how to make an apartment look more expensive. Exciting, right? So guys, I'm Faazati Ali. I am an interior designer, and without wasting any time, why don't we learn how to upgrade the look of our spaces? Now, the first way to make your apartment look more expensive is to definitely create a focal wall. So how do we do this? Now, the easiest and more budget-friendly way of doing this is to go for a different color paint. So go for a bold paint color on either your TV wall, your headboard wall, and so on. Now, another way which is easier and more budget-friendly is to go for wallpaper. So we're not talking about doing this in all four walls in a room and so on. We're just talking about the focal wall, creating that one wall that will look appealing in this space. So you can do this with paint, with wallpaper. You can as well go farther and do it with fluted panel, wall molding. And because you're working on just one wall, it's definitely not gonna cost you a lot of money, and this will completely change the look of your space. Now, another thing you can think about, because sometimes you style the rest of your home, I actually talked about this in my previous video, is sometimes it's the kitchen that's letting you down. The backsplash just looks outdated, and you can't just go about bringing down tiles and putting new ones and so on. It's a lot of work. So what you can do is also go ahead and just bring in peel and stick tiles, place them directly on your old tiles, and this will just give you a completely new look that will elevate the entire space and also create a focal point in the kitchen. So definitely think about creating a focal point, and this is some very easy ways you can do this. Now, sometimes what is cheapening the look of your apartment is your lighting fixtures. Now, maybe you've just never thought about changing them. Maybe they just found them there. They're quite old, but you know, they light up the house, so it's whatever. If you want your house to look more expensive, lighting fixtures are very, very important. Now, I know it's an apartment, you're renting it out. You really want to go out there and bring in light fixtures? I'm saying yes. Feel free to bring in light fixtures. When you're moving out, you can move out with them. So as well, light fixtures are not all expensive. They range quite well when it comes to pricing, from very budget friendly ones to the more expensive ones. Go for the budget friendly ones. All you have to do is be very selective in terms of the design that you select, because this will either give you that luxurious look or some bland look. So that's all you have to do. And of course, if you also don't want to splurge too much or change out all your lighting fixtures, pick them for the main areas, say the living area and the dining area, or just the living area, and this will just completely elevate the look of your home. Of course, go ahead and bring in floor lamps, layer your lights, guys. So as much as you have your general light, you've changed it out, go ahead and have some floor lamps, go ahead and have some table lamps. This will completely change and uplift the look of your home. I assure you, you will start seeing that luxurious feel, because lighting is very, very important when it comes to interior design. Now, a very simple way of simply making your home look expensive is to simply bring in a large artwork. Simple, done. You're good to go. And I'm gonna stress on the word large, because please, not the small ones. The small ones, well, they try, but the large ones will give you the elevation and the expensive look that you're trying to achieve. So go ahead and bring a large piece, have it behind your sofa, on your corridor, in the entryway, and so on. Place them in a nice way, of course. Don't place them again too high. There's another mistake where people place artwork way too high, and sometimes they're way too small. Avoid all of those, because those ones actually look awkward on your walls and they just won't allow you to achieve the look you're trying to get. So go for large art pieces, hang them appropriately, go for something unique. I also paint. Please feel free to reach out to me. I will definitely do you a nice abstract painting. And yeah, guys, simple way. I mean, if there's something we've all seen in movies when they're showing us all those large mansions, it's artwork. So that's why they easily make your home look expensive as well. So think about adding a piece. Now, something else that's quite simple that can easily elevate the look of a space is to go for ceiling to floor curtains. So if you've moved into a new apartment and you had your old curtains, but maybe they're slightly shorter, maybe your ceiling height is now higher, so your curtains are sort of hanging somewhere on the wall, this does not give a great look. It cheapens the look of the space. So what you want to do is go out there and ensure that you have taken your ceiling to floor measurements so that you're getting the appropriate size curtains for your space. The curtains just need to kiss the floor just a little bit. Also, don't let them be too long such that they're gathering a lot on the floor. That also doesn't look too great. So yeah, be mindful when you're selecting your curtain heights because this definitely changes how the space is perceived. So think about getting proper curtains. Avoid short ones completely. Short curtains will make your walls look short. They cheapen the look of a space, and definitely you're not on your way to creating a luxurious looking space. Sorry, guys. So this is something very important to keep in mind when you're trying to elevate the look of your space. Now, sometimes an easy way to style that apartment is to simply switch out your hardware. Now, sometimes the only thing that's pulling you back is the old look on your knobs, on your doorknobs, on your door handles in the kitchen, and so on. So, be it your cabinet or your drawers or your consoles in the living room and so on, feel free to switch those out. Go for a different material. It might have been something that was built a long time ago, or you've had it for a long time, and maybe it has worn off over time. So check those items as well. They are mini things that will completely change the look of a space. So feel free to switch them out, get something different, go for a nice metal. Of course, to be cohesive, look at one of the metals that you have mostly going through your house and try to match to that so they're not completely different as well. So this is something you want to think about. That will of course also definitely make your space look a whole lot better once changed. Now we want this space that's not only luxurious, expensive, but also looks, of course, super aesthetic as well as homey and cozy. And some of the items that can do this is bringing in mirrors and candles. So of course, as we all know, mirrors are great when styling up any space. They're great because of their reflective surface that allows you to make a space look larger, more airy, and so on. So bring in a large one, a beautiful one, and have it in a beautiful shape. Organic shapes are quite popular right now, or just have a beautiful one in the bathroom, in your dresser area, in the living room area, in the bedroom. Guys, mirrors work in all different spaces, and you just have to be selective about the one you go for. Pick a beautiful frame, and this will definitely add a lot of aesthetics in this space. Now, apart from that, we have candles, and this as well go a long way in adding beautiful scents in the space. Very important to also think about the sense of smell when styling any space. And on top of that, they bring in a sense of coziness and just hominess. So this is what we want to achieve when we are on our way to creating an expensive looking space. So definitely thinking about adding these two items, and of course you'll be one step ahead in creating that space. Now let's talk about the easiest way to turn around any space, to simply declutter. So what you want to ensure you're doing is keeping your space clean look as possible. So go minimalist. Avoid having things sitting around randomly on your coffee table, on your cabinets, on your drawers, on your stools, and so on. Everything is always so cluttered. This is the one thing that completely cheapens the look of a space. Just makes your space look messy, chaotic, and all those. So to avoid this, ensure that you have ample storage, that you're keeping away things that don't really need to be in view all the time. So put away things in your drawers, have multifunctional furniture pieces if you have a small space, so that your coffee table can as well act as storage, or your sofa can as well act as storage, your bed, you can put duvets under it and so on, so that things are not inside, because this gives you a nice clean look that just is definitely gonna elevate the look of any space. So what a cheap, easy way of elevating the look of the space. So guys, let's go ahead and declutter. Now, on our way to creating this luxurious, homey, cozy space, we also want a space that feels zen and connected to nature. So biophilia is important as well. So we can go ahead and of course bring in plants as well as flowers into this apartment, so that we're making them have that zen feel, bring in some nice airy feel, freshness as well in the space, because these are plants and so on. So I'll have them in beautiful vases, bring in some proper plants, bring in trees as well. These days we have proper trees in spaces, just bring in that biophilia as well. This completely upgrades the look of any space. So feel free to do this. You can as well go ahead and just have flowers on the tables, have them in some lovely vases. This will look absolutely great. So this is an easy way to elevate the look of any space as well. So feel free to go out there and bring in some greenery. And for people who are not sure they are able to take care of plants, you're not completely out of choice here. I am one of you, sadly. Not that great at keeping them alive, which is sad. But what you can do is just go ahead and bring in artificial plants as well. Go for the ones that look as real as possible, because we have those these days, which is a great option for us. This would be a great way to, of course, still elevate the look of your space without killing any plants. So let's do that, guys. Let's bring in some greenery. Now, something else that is very important when you're trying to make any space, of course your apartment included, look expensive, is to think about the clever selection of color as well as your furnishing pieces. So you can go about styling your space, picking a focal point for your walls and so on. But if you pick the wrong color, say you go for a bright yellow living room or a bright red living room, it's just not gonna work. So you want to ensure that you're mostly going for neutral backdrops such as white and beige and so on, and then bring in some nice accent colors, but in smaller amounts. Say your throw blanket, your throw pillows and so on. This will be a lot more better. So think about selecting the right furniture pieces as well. So the worst thing you can do is go for matching furniture pieces, things like that just make it look like you do not pay attention to your pieces or your furniture, and definitely dim the look of a space. So when you're selecting furniture, be very selective. Think about your style. Always have a mood board. This will be a great way to guide you when you're out there now buying the pieces. Pick a beautiful sofa if it's your living area. Have a lovely accent chair as well. Ensure that the pieces you're picking are going to work well together, and they're going to elevate the look of the space. Different furniture pieces can either make your space look better, make your space look cheaper. So be very selective. And this will be the final things you need to think about when you are trying to make your apartment look expensive. Those are just but a few top tips on how to make your apartment look expensive. I hope you got to learn something, and I assure you, if you incorporate these tips into your space, you'll definitely be on your way to elevating the look of the space and make it look more luxurious and of course more aesthetic. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do feel free to like, comment, subscribe and share, and of course guys, do let me know in the comment section below if you have any more tips. I would be more than happy to learn from you as well. Anyway, see you guys next time inshallah with another video. Love you guys so much. Bye bye.